Hey, First Baptist. Hope you're doing well. Wanted to follow up a little bit from Sunday's message, and particularly this idea of delegation. And I'm not even sure if that's the right term, but it's this idea of sharing the load, of everybody doing their part, working as a body. It's interesting. We think of, certain roles or offices in the church. And so you have elders and you have deacons. We also have deaconesses. But did you realize also there's a role for a member? A member has a role. A member has responsibilities. A member has ways of serving that they're called to fulfill, right? And one of the places this becomes evident is a passage we didn't get to on Sunday, but I thought I'd bring up. And this is huge for how we do ministry as a church, how we function, how we further our mission, okay? So if you want to know where we're trying to go, what kind of culture, just what we want our church to look like. We want it to look like the Bible. And one of the really significant parts of that is we try to move forward together as a church. As you think about what your role is in the church, is what we find in Ephesians 4. So, Ephesians 4, verse 11 says, "And he gave the apostles, the prophets, the evangelists, the shepherds, and teachers to equip the saints for the work of ministry, for the building up of the body of Christ." And then Paul goes on from there, and you get this description, and it really fills out a lot of what he's saying. But here's what I want us to see. The work of the pastors, the elders, the shepherds, the teachers, is not to do all the ministry. It's to equip God's people, the members, for ministry. That's what Jesus designed his church to work like, right? So think about what this means. So maybe it helps to think about what it doesn't mean. This means that the church is not a service provider to its members, okay? It's not like this is a shopping mall or any other store you might go in and you just go and get your needs met, or it's an entertainment venue where you go and someone gives you a show, right? This isn't about, there's no spectators when it comes to God's church, right? There's no consumers when it comes to the church. We're all a part of a family and a body working together for a mission. Some of us have roles, particularly the elders, pastors, teachers, have roles to equip the saints to help form you into Christ's likeness in your heart, in your mind, your actions. We're to equip you so that you can go do the service, okay? That's the idea here in Ephesians 4. And so that's what we're trying to do as a church here. So if you want to think about where we're headed to a place where everybody has a part. No one's sitting on the sidelines. This isn't just a place you attend once in a while to get your religious fix, or to have somebody tell you something that sounds nice, or to learn interesting things. It's a place that you come. It's a body you belong to, a family you belong to, and there are people within this body that help equip you and help you grow and thrive so that you can fulfill God's purposes for you as a part of this church and the way you're called to function. So, a couple of areas for you to think through what this looks like. So if you're thinking about, okay, I'm being equipped to function, to play a part in this church thing, this body of Christ, this family, one, think about what does that look like inside the church? What's my part inside the church with the people that are already here that God's given us? Secondly, what does it look like to be equipped, to function, to play a part outside the church? You'll notice that when we talk about our mission, and really we're just trying to reflect the Great Commission in Matthew 28, we talk about helping people meet Jesus, so these are people outside the church, and helping each other follow Jesus. Those are people inside the church. And so just thinking about that, when you think about, okay, what is my part then? Well, ask yourself, how am I serving? How am I doing ministry We're to equip the saints for the work of ministry. What is my work of ministry inside the church? What is it outside the church? And outside the church is going to be serving people. It's going to be sharing, telling people about Jesus, right? And in some sense, that's the same inside the church. It's going to look different. The content will be a little different, but it comes back to pointing people to Jesus, right? So what does it look like inside and outside? And then the second two categories I think are helpful to think through is, how does me serving, doing these works of ministry, what does it look like more informally, less structured, organic, and what does it look like more structured and formally? We all are called to an informal ministry of encouraging, teaching, exhorting, comforting, praying for one another. All of those one another's in the New Testament. There's all sorts of informal ministry that needs to be taking place for the church to thrive, for it to be what God's designed it to be. And then there are areas of more formal, structured ministry, right? So for the church to thrive, there's lots of physical needs that need to be taken care of. There's lots of spiritual needs. There's roles of normally, teaching kids or volunteering with the youth or volunteering to take somebody a meal, or, our community groups right now are reaching out to those who are kind of shut in and homebound right now. There's various ways. We need help with finances, and we could use another person or two on our missions committee. There are different ways that you can be involved, serving, doing the work of ministry that are structured. So ask yourself those questions. What is this work of ministry that I'm being equipped for? What does that look like inside the church? What does it look like outside the church? What does it look like when it's informal, organic? What does it look like when it's more structured? And where do those fit in my life? This is a different time for that to happen, and to evaluate that. But it can look like something right now. We got to get creative, innovative. But there is a work of the ministry that God's called you to do as a member. I'm here, and the other elders, we're here to equip you, help you grow, thrive in character, and then help you grow in skills and just learn how to do these things. But the work of the ministry is for all of us. We all have a role, whether we're elders, deacons, deaconesses, or members. Hope that's helpful, and I hope that helps you see where we're going as a church family. So love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.